Hi everyone, I'm Katie Sensis. I'm a second grade teacher at Vogelway Elementary.
And I'm Mary Lee McGuire. I'm the music teacher at Vogelway.
And we wanted to use Peardeck to look at a lesson to create in collaboration with each other to look at social emotional learning as well as develop a lesson for community building at the beginning of the year. So we're going to be utilizing the book, Have You Filled a Bucket Today, as well as look at some music and how we can use that to calm our emotions and things like that. So in the beginning, we wanted to kind of gauge where our students are at. We do have a lot of learners that have a lot of emotional needs. And this has been a very trying time, especially for a lot of families. So just to kind of see where the students are at, they're allowed to circle how they are feeling. And then
From that, we're going to take a little musical break because sometimes we can just get wrapped up in our emotions, and it's important that students learn tools to slow down and actually just breathe a little bit. So we're going to take about 5 minutes and we're going to do a stretching activity. And since I'm the music teacher, I'm going to play a 2-minute stress relief musical break for the kids. And it's just really relaxing, soft music. And it really shows the kids the power of music when you're feeling sad or you're in a bad mood. Sometimes if you just unengage for a little bit, put on some soft music and breathe, it can really help you to get out of that mood.
and then from that point, we'll have the kids kind of talk about how they're feeling or how the music made them feel. And then we would transition into our lesson being kind of more focused on being aware of how you feel, but also how we can make other people feel. And so, have you filled your bucket today? This Pear Deck could be used if we're doing digital learning, so you can play the video and listen to the story here, or in person, I would be reading it to them. And so we would play the story. We won't have to play for now, but we're looking at what makes a bucket filler for students and what makes a bucket dipper. And if you haven't read the book before, it looks at different ways that you can look out for other people, really promoting kindness, and how if we do something to others, how that can hurt them as well as ourselves.
And also boost their mood.
Absolutely. And so looking at the story and review, really focusing on what a bucket filler is. So if somebody drops their book on the sidewalk, you help pick them up. If they maybe look sad at recess, they're going over and maybe they're having a dance party with a song that they learned from Miss McGuire's class. And then looking at what a bucket dipper is to make sure the things that we're doing are not, especially if we're sad or down, are not also hurting other people or even hurting ourselves. And turning that around, if we're dipping into people's bucket, what can we do to be a bucket filler? And letting the kids talk about examples as well as fill this out on Pear Deck.
Okay, and then we're going to talk about what is your bucket filling today? What is filling your bucket today? And is something dipping into your bucket today? So we'll extend that discussion and talk about what has filled your bucket. Today I hung out with Miss Census. She made a really great soup. That really filled my bucket up. Something that dipped into my bucket today is it was storming outside and there were branches on the ground. So just talking about that with students and helping them recognize their emotions and recognize that their emotions do have an impact on their learning, and really talking about ways that we can help access our emotions and help others to fill their buckets as well. So we're going to do that by having an exit ticket at the end. We're going to have the students draw or write 2 things that they will do, at least 2 things. They could do more if they want. 2 things that they'll do this week to fill somebody's bucket. And they're going to commit to those 2 things. So they're going to think about that. It could be a mom, it could be a dad, it could be a friend, brother or sister, it could be their teacher. And they could even fill their own bucket. Maybe they wanted to go and play the piano if they were feeling sad, and maybe they want to play an instrument and might make them feel better, or maybe they could listen to a song or a piece of upbeat music if they're feeling bad. And so these are different things that they can do for their exit ticket. And then when they see us again later on in the week, they will check in with Miss Census or myself, and we might open up another class with, hey, anybody want to tell me about anything you did to fill somebody's bucket this week? And then that way it keeps the discussion going and we can keep checking in.
Absolutely. And then as this is Pear Deck, currently we don't have any students in the class, but we can have the students either respond in person, or if you want to kind of reflect back, they can use their computers to respond to the slides directly, and you can show their responses below. And that way you can kind of create a conversation to reflect on afterwards.
And Miss Insys and I also think that it's good for the younger ones just to be able to see the faces and to see the emotions up there, because they really need to see it. It helps them to recognize their emotions as well. So this is a great tool to do that.